Good morning and welcome to a Thoughts from Iron. This is a little bit of a daily West Ham from me, not from Rob today. So basically, I want to talk about the loan system. I want to talk about the the fact that I feel the under 23s developmental squad there and the Premier League too. He's putting paid to any of the stars coming out of the academy now. Um, I watched some clips last night of the Derby game, just stuff that people have put on the internet. Myself and Gatesy, we watched the under 23s play down locally at Ebbsfleet before the season kicked off. And I've got to say, what I saw, I wasn't impressed with. And these are supposed to be the next generation of West Ham players coming through. Now, um, I've spoke about this in streams before, and I just felt it was probably about time I gave it a full video, to be honest with you. Now, um, we can go back across many seasons and see, we realise the time that we have a player coming through from, um, the under 23s, the reserve team squad, whatever you want to call them. Um, Breaking into the first team. Now, we had Declan Rice do it in recent years. Um, Breaking into that first team. But myself and Casey were talking previously, and who else have we had really um, that's managed to do that? Recently, shall we say? The last 5 to 10 years, it's difficult. I think the last time we really had someone come through maybe would have been Dan Potts. Obviously, no longer with us. I believe he's was at Luton the last time I looked. Now, find that light. Now, Connor Coventry's gone out on loan this season. I believe he's gone to Peterborough, in his 20s. And I think it's a bit late for someone to be going out on loan. Um, if you want to make, that first team breakthrough at West Ham, he should already be doing that, in my opinion. Now, as I say, me and Gatesy were down at Ebbsfleet when they beat the under 23s 2-1, and I wasn't impressed with what I saw. There was there was absolutely nothing there that I saw of any of those players that were ready to step up and come through. And some of these guys are, 21, 22, and should be ready by now. Harrison Ashby, um, the young lad at the back. We've now got Arco Flex and Baptiste and a few of the others, Afalayan and Odebeko. And these kids, they've gone out on loan now. That's fantastic. But why are we waiting until now? I remember Jermaine Defoe. We got Jermaine Defoe from Charlton. Um, and we sent him on loan to Bournemouth, and he became a superstar at Bournemouth. He grew into his role. He was coming up against, seasoned pros. Okay, um, not Premier League, um, you know, quality playing, but he was coming up against a centre back that has got experience of playing, um, um, and isn't afraid to put a young upstart like Jermaine Defoe in his place. I mean, I've seen a few interviews with Jermaine Defoe about his time at Bournemouth, and he talks about getting kicked. He talks about coming up against pros that knew the tricks of the trade. Um, he talks about learning his trade when he was at Bournemouth. Now, we don't have that anymore. We don't see these players going out on loan at 17, 18 years old, 19 years old. Um, what we see now is they play in the Premier League too, under 23, Premier League too. Now, what frustrates me with the Premier League too is that seems to hold more prestige for these young players than um, than going out on loan and getting some first team competitive football experience. What they're actually doing, excuse me, what they're actually doing is they're coming up against players their own experience level. They're coming up against players their own um, stature, age, And they're not. It's not competitive football. I don't care what anyone says, but they're seeing it with a prestige that it's Premier League Two. If they can get a winners medal under their belt for that, holds more to them and on a CV as it were than going out on loan to Preston North End like David Beckham did back in the day, or to Bournemouth like Defoe did, or Hull City like Mark Noble did, or even, for instance, Jesse Lingard last year coming on loan to us and essentially revitalising his career. And as I said in the video that me and Gatesy did last night, um, would you call Jesse Lingard an ex-West Ham player because he was on loan? Not necessarily. He was on loan to us. Would you call the same details? Would you call Mark Noble an ex-Hull player because he was on loan down there? No, you wouldn't. So, you know, these players like Connor Coventry, should have been out on loan a long, long time ago. Um, you know, 18, 19 years old, out playing competitive football for a season or two at a club in, the lower championship reaches, the higher reaches of League One, possibly even League Two. Um, to go out and get that experience. Um, those of you who play football manager or championship manager out there will know that the first thing you do when you go on to games like that is you get your kids out on loan. I know I do when I play those games, just because match experience is important, and I don't just mean match experience. I mean competitive match experience. I mean coming up against that gnarled. If you're a centre forward like Arco Flex, coming up against that gnarled journeyman 30, 33, 34-year-old centre back who has learnt the tricks of the trade, and will quite happily try and put a young whippersnapper through his paces and in his place. Because you know what? That's how the youngsters will learn. They will learn the tricks of the trade by going out. They will learn to take the knocks and the kicks and the bruises. They will know that they've been in games, and they will learn the competitive side of football. Um, so I blame the Premier League too for taking this away. I blame the prestige of maybe trying to win one of these trophies at 18, 19, 20, um, rather than going out on loan to a lower league club, which is a shame really, because when I watched the under 23s play against Ebbsfleet, I wasn't impressed. Um, they came up against I think he was 34, the centre back for Ebbsfleet. He basically he bullied the two guys that we had up front. He bullied Odebeko. He bullied Arco Flex when he came on, um, and they didn't have an answer to it because they'd not come up against someone like this before. Um, the only one bright thing was Ashby. Um, he looked like he wanted the ball. He looked like he wanted to take on his players. He looked like he wanted to try and make things happen. Um, but the rest of them kind of looked out of their depth. And this is against a conference side, a non-league conference side. And our under 23 Premier League 2 side looked out of their depth. I went in thinking, here we go. And I never got that. I never saw the players that were ready for action. They didn't look like they were ready to come up against a set of players that have been around the block. So, until the prestige of the Premier League Two, until the draw of that, until we start, showing players going out on loan and getting competitive football experience is far greater than playing in this tournament. Um, we're not going to produce any more stars. We're not going to produce any more um, of these, Jermaine Defoe players coming through. I know a lot of you, you know, don't don't consider Mark Nobles as being he's a one man club. Essentially, yes, he is, but he did spend some time on loan at Hull City, I believe it was. Um, you know, if you go back in time, a lot of our stars that have come out of our club, Rio Ferdinand spent time away on loan, Michael Carrick, Jermaine Defoe, Joe Cole, they all spent time away from the club on loan, um, playing competitive football at the lower level. You could go away from West Ham and you could look at David Beckham, you could look at John Terry, you could look at Sol Campbell. You could look at all of these England players um, that went out and got loan experience, that went out and got competitive football experience at the early part of their career, which set them on the path to become the stars that they did. Now, I'm not saying that we send Occo Flex out on loan to, I don't know, pick a team, Luton, Derby, Charlton. For instance, Josh Cullen was on loan at Charlton for, I believe, a year, maybe two. He's now captain of Anderlecht after we decided to let him go because we didn't think he was good enough. But he spent 2 years out there, and now he's captain of Anderlecht. Is that anything to do with the 2 years he spent on loan playing competitive football? I'd say it's part of it. Um, what I will say, guys, is I want your comments on this. I want to try and keep the video short. I mean, I could talk about this for 2 or 3 hours, and no doubt during the season, myself, Gatesy, and you guys out there will touch on this. Um, Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below um, on this channel. Just because I'd like to think I'm not the only one out there that feels this. I'd like to think that, some of you guys out there also think along them same lines. Do we need to start, insisting that these youngsters go out on loan? Um, Reece Oxford, Reece Oxford played for us, against Arsenal. Ozil in his back pocket, fantastic debut. 16, 17 years old, and slowly but surely disappeared off the scene because allegedly, according to people that were in the know, his attitude stank. He could have been a better player than Declan Rice, according to some, because he had all of the skills to do so, yet Declan Rice had a better mentality and a better work ethic. I feel that with Reece Oxford, he got too much too soon and felt he'd made it. Now, he's currently getting rave reviews for Augsburg and Germany, and a football talent scout that I'm aware of, that I have spoken about a lot before, and I've used some of his stuff before. Um, he's currently saying that at 20, coming up on 23 years old, Reece Oxford, he's going to surprise a lot of people. He's going to make a big move within the next 2 years, 25, 26 years old. And he's going to show a lot of West Ham fans just exactly what he could have been. Now, I'm hoping so. I'm thinking I may do a video on Reece Oxford in the coming weeks. Maybe we could take him back if he does make that improvement in the next 18 months. Again, let me know your comments, guys, because I don't think I'm the only one that thinks like this with the Premier League too. I don't think I'm the only one that thinks like this with players going out on or should be going out on loan to get the experience. Um, it's interesting because we don't seem to see the development of these players anymore. Um, so let me know your thoughts. In the meantime, don't forget I'll give the shout out to Isla. This is normally Gates' thing. Um, we're still trying to raise money for the young girl. We're still trying to help where we can. So if you can share this link on your social media, it'll be in the comment in the description below. Share this on your social media. If you can donate, please do. If you can't, get it out there so other people that may have the opportunity to can do. All the links there, guys, for our our pages, our social media pages. You can tell I don't do this on my own often, can't you? Blimey. Um, and you know what? Let's get some comments going. Let's get some backwards and forwards. If you wanna send me a DM on Twitter and we can start a conversation there. My handle's at Hammersduke, forward from mine at Hammersduke. Um, and let's get some comments going and get some bits going. What I'd like you to do is please like the video. If you haven't already done so and you're new around here, please subscribe to the video and give that little bell icon a caress, and you'll get notified when myself, Gatesy, and any new video content comes up. As I say, let me know in the comments below. DM me. Do what you got to do, guys. I'm going to jump off. Thanks for watching. Thanks for taking the time. Take care and come on, you Irons.